Looks like, yeah, I'm live. Tell me if you can see me and hear me, y'all. I'm 4 minutes late, maybe even more than 4 minutes late, 4.5 minutes late. Don't know. Y'all, I'm Bonnie Gillespie. We are going to talk about the eclipses, how they're going to affect you, how to prepare for them ahead of time, and basically how to vibe out with the moon doing some wacky stuff with us and how we feels on this Pisces Virgo axis all through September 2025. How you doing? Thank you for tuning in. Yay! Happy Virgo season. Y'all, that Virgo new moon last week, Friday, Saturday, the weekend, all the days that ran together. How'd we do? Because that Virgo new moon was not an eclipse, but it was not an eclipse energetically. Because that new moon in Virgo squared Uranus. I don't know what you know about Uranus and its chaotic energy wanting to come on in and shake some things up. But that new moon's usually kind of quiet, kind of plant some seeds, enjoy the dark, quiet, low energy balsamic moon as it rolls into the north, moves into the new moon in Virgo. That's not exactly how it went for most people I'm talking to. You see my setup's a little different behind me. We are on what's called heat holiday over here at the beach. And this is the one room with air conditioning. And I'm actually too cold. So I'm going to turn off the air conditioning for a moment. But this is where I'm working while on heat holiday. Heat holiday used to be I go to a hotel where the air conditioner's on somebody else's bill. Well, I mean on mine. I'm paying to stay in the room. But then we got an in-home situation for just one room. One room. Have you hugged yourself today? Even if you have to do it again because it feels good. Remind yourself that you are in fact in a body having some human experiences. Get that shadow side. Oh, my Discord is beeping over there. Dang. I'll ignore it because y'all can't hear it. I'll ignore it. Beautiful people. I had to double check that we didn't have the eclipse, Carla says. It felt so eclipsy that you like, I gotta check. Quiet but busy. Digging your eye makeup? Really? This is what I spent time on, and y'all gonna laugh when I show you my slides because I spent time on my eyes. I was watching back some of the shorts because my amazing team cuts shorts out of my live streams, and Melissa Has Questions podcast episodes, and those shorts are really tight in like this on my face because of how they have to be cropped. And I did not like some of my early eye makeup. So I watched a YouTube tutorial on eye makeup and bought a palette. And this is what I did. I spent time on this instead of slides. But thank you. Not but thank you. And thank you. That means I did something different. It's dark. It's dark. I got a little bit of glitter. Glitter. Because Jupiter in Cancer. I'm always trying to enjoy that. Amal, I honestly felt inspired to plant some seeds and write down my goals that I'm expecting in 6 months. Perfect, because that is what the new moon intention setting timeline is. 6 months from now, when it is a Virgo full moon release in Pisces season 2026, what do I want to release about anything that was planted during new moon in Virgo last week? Yeah, excellent, fantastic, I love it. Okay, great. Oh, this makes me so happy. We are having a 24-hour void moon. Love long void moons. We're self-entertaining, no worries. Okay, good. I'm so glad that when I came by and said, I'm gonna be in a minute. Okay, because I had to get my fluids. Because there are 3 things that will take care of you during eclipse season, no matter what. Rest, because moon shit is exhausting. Eclipses can be really tiring, or you can be wired and not get any sleep at all. Rest. Even if you're not sleeping, rest. Believe me, it works. Hydrate, because moon shit is dehydrating. It's doing nonsense with the tides, and we are made up of mostly water. You definitely want to stay hydrated. Bubble wrap. Energetically, bubble wrap, because the energy's a lot. And eclipses are unexpected experiences. They are surprise happens. They are intense shifts in energy, and that can get energetically exhausting. The next episode of Melissa Has Questions, which should go up today, is a bunch of resources for energetic hygiene and self-care around energetic hitchhikers and strong energies that people who may identify as empath tend to expose themselves to, and need better hygiene around boundaries and not taking all that shit on. Talking to the water signs in the group. But everybody who's a nurturer or an empath, a sensitive, an HSP, all that, we got you covered. But also, physical fucking bubble wrap if you're the kind of person who bumps into things and gets accident prone, because eclipses love that. Says the person who broke a damn toe every eclipse season for like 3 in a row before I finally said I have to do some my North Node in Pisces. I'm gonna have to do something about this, because I keep saying bubble wrap and then I walk around like I don't know where my feet are going in my house with my furniture who has not moved, and why does that furniture jump out and break my toe? I do not know. But bubble wrap can also be emotional. We can get a little extra. We can get a little heightened. Bubble wrap. Rest, hydrate, bubble wrap. That's it. If nothing else, take that. Okay. Excellent. Good chance I'll be in Europe on vacay on September 21st. Not traveling that day, but out and about. Okay or bad idea? Hey, it's what you're doing. It's what you're doing. And if it's what you're doing, it's what you're doing. I am going to go grab something so what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that since that is something you are doing, Michelle, we're going to make sure that it doesn't take too much out of you. Okay, y'all are going to laugh because I'm going to share slides that hilariously I didn't finish because I had a coaching right before this, and I got a certain amount done before coaching, and then I didn't get the rest done after coaching. I got one more slide done. But here's what's going to happen, and I've done this before here, so I know that y'all appreciate this. I will finish the slides, and when I finish the slides, I will add them for download in the description of this live stream. But for now, what y'all gonna see on screen gonna make you laugh. It's gonna make you laugh. All right, so let's do it. I don't love playing with new makeup. I'm not a makeup person. I did cool stuff in the 80s with makeup. I did cool stuff with 80s in the makeup. Cool stuff with makeup in the 80s. Because makeup was cool in the 80s. And I had a caboodle filled with all the goodies. And then I became a makeup artist for a little while. And I had a kit, a professional kit that, it's not my makeup. It's my work makeup and work tools. And then did makeup on a few films out here in LA, a couple projects for friends. And I just was like, this is a lot. That takes a lot. So this is a ton of makeup for me. And I'm like, can I keep it? How long can I keep the makeup when I like how it looks? And so it's like, well, I'm going to have to wash my hair later. Is it possible to keep on the makeup while you wash your hair? And is it ridiculous that I would wonder that? Okay, but this is not Bonnie's beauty tips. Thank you for recognizing and appreciating, respecting the caboodle. Talk about Virgo dream, right? The caboodle. Such good stuff. All right, y'all. Check it out. This is your Pisces North Node focus. Why, Bonnie, are we starting with Libra rising? We're not. I started with Pisces rising and went backwards. So I did Pisces. Here's where I started. I started on page 2. Pisces rising, Aquarius rising, Capricorn rising, and then Sagittarius rising, Scorpio rising, Libra rising, and then I had to come be on the live stream, which means that all the raw material for slides 1 and 2, which are Aries through Virgo rising, they are represented here. So I still got you. I wanted to change the presentation of this, and this is from a slideshow I had done previously, where I just went house by house, and I was like, no, I want to actually have the houses on one side, but I want to have the risings on the other side. So that's where y'all gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh. You're gonna be like, Bonnie, these slides make no sense. I mean, all the info is there. Okay, but here's the important part. This is what we're looking at right now. Mucho importance. You are here, end of August 2025. Ooh, some of my gradient colors didn't download. Okay, so now this has been happening to me with Canva lately. I will download something as a PDF, and the gradient colors are not always what they were when I did them in Canva. They're not making it to the final place. I had that happen with the Chart Harmony calendar for September. I had to retweak and download and re-upload to Teachable multiple times, and still I'm not happy with the final product, but I at least got it mostly right. But these are supposed to be really pretty, nuanced, colorful gradient colors to show the Chart Harmony colors bars, but they are not. So just appreciate that they represent time on a timeline, which hopefully makes a little sense to the brain that operates linearly. I use the chart wheel for a clock, and so I'm always thinking circularly rather than linearly when it comes to time. But if you are someone who likes linear timelines, here you go. We are here at August of 2025. We are in retrograde season because we have Saturn retrograde, we have Neptune retrograde, we have Pluto retrograde. Soon we will have Uranus retrograde. And during Uranus retrograde, Saturn retrograde, Neptune retrograde, Pluto retrograde, all three of the outer planets plus Saturn, so the 4 outermost planets that we cover in astrology, blah, all retrograde. And then eclipse. Solar eclipse, September 7th, lunar eclipse, September 21st. We're going to talk about those eclipses today, where they're going to land in your chart. And then we don't have Jupiter retrograde till November, and we don't have our next Mercury retrograde until November. Thank you, Jeebus. All right, so a little bit spread out there. And yes, I will fix this slide and also have it for you in the description so that you can grab it and have it. And yes, I'm going to be creating one of these for all of 2026. I made this one after Mars went direct at the end of April of 2025, which is why it starts with May, because I was like, yay, no more Mars retrograde, and also no more Venus retrograde. I think it was like, oh, this is perfect. We got those two done, plus the first Mercury retrograde of the year. Check those off, and then I made my thing. Okay, so what are we talking about when it comes to an eclipse? So there are these things called nodes: North Node, South Node. The way to remember which one's the North Node, which one's the South Node: North Node is the critter that could be an N. Like if you had to write a character that looked like an N, you could use that. You could say that that's a North Node, N for North. And then the South Node does not look like an S, so I can't help you with that. But the South Node does look like a bucket. And if you are Gen X or approximate, you know the song, "There's a Hole in the Bucket, Dear Liza, Dear Liza." And I can't remember if that was from the Electric Company or Sesame Street. I think it was from Electric Company. But there's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza, with what shall I fix it, dear? No, so fix it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. With what shall I fix it, dear Liza, dear Liza? So you know what? It's a problem-solving, cute little puppet song. I'm thinking Electric Company. Anyway, there's a hole in this bucket. The South Node is a drain of energy wherever it goes. So you have a natal chart, and we put this chart of the woo weather on it like a shower cap. And all around the outside of your natal chart, these things, these transits, these happenings in woo weather are activating sensitive places or intense places or important places in your natal chart. And the activation is an opportunity for you to behave a certain kind of way, make a certain kind of choice, do a certain kind of thing, or stay same. But nodes in particular are always asking us to turn things up, North Node, amplify, North Node, go to that unfamiliar, not so comfortable, a little harder to do place, North Node, and let go of the energy suck that is the stuff at the South Node. There are things that the South Node is reminding us are a cost for the energy we're expending. They remind us through that South Node drain that maybe not everything we do is worth the doing. When the South Node transits our big three, so that's your sun, moon, rising, or the driver rising, navigator, sun, backseat driver, moon of your life car, for the chart harmony definition of sun, moon, rising, said in a different order, rising, sun, moon. Any of those three that get touched by a South Node experience are going to feel a drain of just operating that life car, just being on the road trip that is your life. So we really want to pay attention to when the South Node is going to drain energy off something in our natal chart. We also want to look at the North Node transiting, telling us, let's turn this thing up. The eclipses happen when the sun and the moon hop into the same signs, asterisk, within a close orb of the nodes. The nodes are not actual physical places that we could go visit. The nodes are mathematical calculations on the moon, our moon, Earth's moon. And technically everything has a node, and you could do nodal astrology on everything if you like math that much. But for the sake of this conversation, we're just talking about the lunar nodes. And we are going to be looking at the upcoming eclipse. First, September 7th, 2025, 11:08 a.m. Pacific. Adjust for your time zone. And this is happening at 15 degrees, 22 minutes Pisces. So, this first eclipse that we're getting September 7th is going to be one that is considered easier to do because it is happening with the moon and North Node in close proximity. You see that they are just 3 degrees away. The North Node is at 18 degrees, 20 minutes Pisces on the 7th of September, and the moon is at 15 degrees, 22 minutes Pisces. While the sun is over there in Virgo, again, happy Virgo season, at 15 degrees, 22 minutes Virgo, with the South Node hanging out there by the sun, draining some energy off of that bright luminary at 18 degrees, 20 minutes Virgo, okay? So this first eclipse has an interesting story of turning up the Pisces area of our lives, wherever that is in your chart, and that's, we'll go back to the slides, my imperfect, I'm leaning into my Pisces North Node slides. I said, these slides are good enough. Let's go ahead and do it. Don't postpone. Don't be 10 minutes late. Let's just get up there and do it. And that's what we did, because we are letting that South Node Virgo drain off the energy of perfectionism, paying attention to all the details, getting everything right, making sure there's nothing that anyone can criticize about anything ever. By the way, Virgo, not possible. There will always be something to criticize. There will always be something to find fault with. There will always be something to say, I don't like my free thing, boo, because internet. And it's safe to show up half-assed. It actually is. I am living proof right this second. When I show the slides, even more right that second. So notice in your natal chart what house houses Pisces. Assuming you're using whole sign houses, which is what I have represented on screen right now, you have one house that is Pisces. You have one house across the way that is Virgo. That axis is where we are experiencing our eclipses for a year and a half. And here's how this works. I'm going to come off share screen for a second and see if y'all have any questions. So load them up in the chat if you do while I finish this thought. What happens is every 18 and a half months, we change the axis that the eclipses happen on. And the shifting is actually happening backwards when compared to everything else in our charts. So right now we've got Jupiter in Cancer at 19 degrees. The numbers are going to go up 20, 21, until Jupiter retrogrades, and then that illusion will take the numbers lower again. But when not retrograde, and retrograde's a temporary illusion, Jupiter is moving through Cancer and then into Leo. And this is the order. That's the order of the sun going around. The sun never retrogrades. The moon going around. Moon never retrogrades. So we know the direction of the signs, right? The nodes are actually going backwards from that. And that means that we just had 18 and a half months with Aries Libra axis, where everything Aries felt turned up. Yeah, definitely. And everything Libra, like dealing with a +1, dealing with one-on-one relationships, felt like a drain. Yeah. And whatever house you have for Aries and Libra experienced 18 and a half months of turning up the Aries themes and draining off the Libra themes. As someone with a stellium in Libra rising, a part of that collective of energy of multiple planets, I was exhausted while South Node was transiting Libra. And I knew I got 18 and a half months of this. And then the South Node will shift into Virgo, because again, backwards from Libra to Virgo and from Aries to Pisces for the North Node. And that shift is going to take that pressure off a sensitive part of my chart. And so your mileage may vary with that. Every 18 and a half months, we get a sign shift, and that's what the eclipses happen in, except, and this is where that asterisk was that I gave you a little while ago. Here's now it's resolving. Sometimes we have an eclipse from the last nodal axis we were on, even though we've shifted. And that's kind of like, it's a relay race. It's because the nodes are math and not physical places, and the sun and the moon are running on these cycles: sun, solar cycle, moon, lunar cycle, interestingly enough. And there is a matter of timing when we actually have to do some unfinished business on the axis that we left. So in January of 2025, we officially entered the Pisces Virgo axis for eclipses. And yet we had experienced a preview eclipse in eclipse season fall of 2024 on the Pisces Virgo axis. Similarly, next year, we are going to be in July of 2026 handing off that relay baton from Pisces Virgo after 18 and a half months to Aquarius Leo. But we will have one last goodbye eclipse in Virgo Pisces axis after we've officially made the July 2026 shift in axes. So just remember, it's a little like a relay race, and as we're going, and now it's officially going to be the next set of signs turn, again, next moving backwards because nodes, there's still going to be a moment where that relay baton is handed off and it's in both signs, both axes signs at once. So with all that in mind, I will tell you, it takes 18 and a half years for the nodes to go all the way around. Isn't it cool that 18 and a half months at a time, we get 18 and a half years to go all the way around the circle, my calendar, the circle. So what do you notice when you think back on 18 and a half years ago, when we last had the nodes in this configuration of South Node Virgo, North Node Pisces? And if you're like, Bonnie, that was way too long ago, I cannot remember, because it is a reversal at 9 1/4 years, consider, where were you 9 1/4 years ago when it was North Node Virgo, South Node Pisces? Same axis, same topics, but different energy, turning up the Virgo, draining the Pisces. All right, let me check comments. I'm going to roll back. Virgo rising, love her caboodle, even if it was used to organize makeup I cared little to nothing about. It's true. The organizing of the caboodle is the magic. And I do still have 2 caboodles in this household right now today in 2025. I've definitely done the wash my hair while keeping makeup because I didn't want to redo it. It's tricky but doable. Awesome. Awesome. It's shake it up content. Makes sense. You shook it up. I did. It's true. May have to download as PNG and print as PDF. Thank you, E. You're right. Sesame Street, is that what Hole in the Bucket came from? Thank you. I have a huge event the evening of September 7th. Need to know how to protect so everything goes well. Christina, I got you. We're going to look specifically at where that's going to hit in your chart. Launch at 85% rule. Well spotted, Michelle. Thank you. You are. You got it. Yes. Good enough is absolutely real. Pisces moon 4th house here, says Teresa. So having it on the angles, you're going to be feeling it. Let's see, Pisces sun 16 degrees in 9th house, conjunct Jupiter. Turn that Jupiter up. I love it. Yum, Wendy. No, thank you, LOL, says Kelly. I'm sure whatever it was I was referencing that she's like, nope, no, thank you. I get it. Pisces 10th house for petite. Wonderful. Virgo rising 1st house, Pisces moon 7th house. So you already have that opposition, and also Libra stellium, of course. So familiar with that Virgo stellium 6th house. Ha ha. Donna says Libra stellium here too. Yes, exhausted. Yeah. When the south node moves through your sun sign, it is legitimately draining your vitality, your ego, how you navigate your life car for 18 and a half months. It's a lot. And when the south node is in the sign of your natal moon for 18 and a half months, it is draining how you get your needs met. You are feeling like I can never actually feel safe enough because this drain of energy just won't stop. Depending on the sign of your natal moon, that can be really intense and really dramatic, or it can just be exhausting. And then when it happens to your ascendant or to your midheaven or any of the points that represent big things on the angles, it absolutely is a shift in how you have enough energy to just show up in the world. Yeah. 9th house Pisces, midheaven at 29 degrees, 42 minutes. Ooh, critical degree. I think my next live stream is going to be about the critical degree, Carla. That 29 degree magic. I think because we've got the retrograding outers going back into, not Pluto, but Neptune, Daddy Saturn, not technically an outer, and Uranus all going back into the signs they were in previously and hanging out at 29 degrees for a bit. I think I may do my next live stream before the eclipses. So next week, I'm going to do one last live stream and then take some time off from live streaming on the 29th degree, the critical degree, and why it's so intense. Get it, Donna? It's a lot of energy, especially when one of your big 3 is in the stellium, like me, Sun in Virgo, with Pluto, Uranus, and Jupiter surrounding my sun. Kelly, you've got such a power-packed 6th house. Whoop! Yes. Good. I'm so glad the explanation is helpful, and thank you for helping one another. Yes, this is fabulous. I'm not surprised, Carla. Typically, when someone has critical degree, 29 degree occurrence one place in their chart, they have it more than one place. It's like it tends to have a reason that has shown up in your natal chart, and there's a lot of power behind it. Let's go back over here. So we're looking at our September 7th eclipse, and when this one happens, note that it's going to be turning up the Pisces area of your chart while turning down or draining off some of the energy in the Virgo part of your chart. Then there's the time between the 2 eclipses. That window of time is possibly some of the most intense time, depending on how you felt after that first eclipse. If the first eclipse happens and by the 8th you're like, whoo, I'm good, I'm back to my normal self, then cool, keep on keeping on and live your life. If, however, you're like, oh wow, what was that? Whoo, that was a lot. Or this big thing, shocking, surprising, intense thing happened in my life, and I'm going to call that an eclipse check. Then you want to hang on. You're not done, because the second eclipse is going to be a punctuation mark to that. So when is the second eclipse? I'm so glad you asked. It is in fact a solar eclipse happening on September 21st, 2025 at 12:54 p.m. Pacific, adjust for your time zone, at 29 degrees. What did I just say? 29 degrees, 5 minutes, Virgo. Now, the reason this one's important is this is happening at the South Node. Now, the September 7th eclipse, the moon, which is the sign we call the eclipse in, so this was an eclipse in Pisces on September 7th, is happening at the North Node. North Node is a turn up of energy. It is an amplification of things. It is going into an untested part of our lives or our charts to experience something in a new way. The South Node, however, which is all we're getting on the eclipse of September 21st, is, you already heard it, there's a hole in the bucket, drain of energy. So this drain of energy that is happening on the Virgo eclipse, Sun in Virgo, 29 degrees, Moon in Virgo, 29 degrees, South Node in Virgo, 18 degrees. Luckily, that is a pretty wide orb, but it is still an eclipse. That one is potentially going to be more exhausting, more challenging, more draining, interestingly enough, more exposing the things that we karmically came in with and need to leave behind. Need to, I'm not shaming anybody into anything because I'm not Saturn, but you know what you need to leave behind. You clock that. I don't clock that. I clock what I need to leave behind. And if you're like, I don't believe in past lives, so karma, no. Okay, then the stuff that comes easy to you, that can be considered shadow stuff for you, that tends to be where your South Node is natally. But specifically with this transiting South Node happening, this eclipse situation happening specifically on September 21st, you will find that South Node is asking you to uncover what are some of the shadows here and what do we want to see move from this place. All right, so with all that in mind, let's go through, house by house, rising by rising. Let's go rising by rising. And I am going to attempt starting with Aries 7th house. All right? So this is Aries rising. You've got Pisces. Nope, I lied. Aries. No. Virgo. 7th house. What is your rising if Pisces is your 7th house? Virgo. 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 Aries rising would be Pisces is your 12th house. Yeah, see, this is why I wanted to rebuild the slides into what you'll notice are the last two slides, which are actually the first two in the slideshow. I know it's such a clusterfuck. I love it. It'll make sense. 7th house Pisces, if you are Virgo rising. Check my math. That is correct. Okay, so if you are Virgo rising, these eclipses are going to be pulling your energy to the North Node, transiting your 7th house. You are also having the South Node transiting your 1st house if you have Virgo rising. And I am so sorry that you are going through such exhausting times, Virgo rising. I was just there as Libra rising. It was a lot. Please just rest. So also, if you are Virgo rising, if you're single, that North Node eclipse action happening in your 7th house, Pisces, can really help spiritual connection begin to show up. You may not have a lot of energy for pursuing something in the 7th house, which tends to be our one-on-one, our +1, our person, if we are personing romantically. Can also be business partner, can also be therapist, can also be coach, can also be enemies. Like people that are one-on-one a certain kind of way with us show up in the 7th house. So Virgo rising, it may feel like it takes a lot of energy just to even be you right now, but that Pisces tour of your 7th house is going to really be turning up some lovely mystical even energy around how you are attracting a person. And if you are not single and you already have your person, this is a time for a deepening of the spiritual connection between you and the person you call your person. If you have Leo rising, you have Pisces in the 8th house, and this is the house of other people's money. So this eclipse season can create wild transformations in how money comes to you. It can be that you start a business, and now this 8th house, which is a really entrepreneurial earning kind of place, becomes energized, and you may be less excited or even into material things after you've previously been maybe even a little persnickety about things and physical things, because Virgo in the 2nd house does like a physical manifestation of stuff, but and that Pisces North Node getting the energy in the 8th house is going to create an opportunity through some of the more mystical things that the 8th house is about, a lot of money coming through in unexpected eclipse kind of ways. So allow yourself to maybe journal a bit about how welcoming you would like to be to that. Be very welcoming to it if you can. The 9th house, Pisces, happens for our Cancer risings. Make sure I'm doing that right. Yep. Cancer rising, you are going to have a 9th house experience of this North Node bringing a turn up, North Node, Pisces, 9th house, for you Cancer rising, turn up of spirituality, astrology, religion, cults, higher education, going back to school, traveling internationally, an energy behind getting that book published, going into law, just things that are like big brainy kinds of things are going to flow more intuitively for you during this eclipse window. And you're probably going to find it's draining to be on social media, to keep up with your newsletter, your Substack, your mailing list, your YouTube channel, whatever it is that you like to keep up with. It might just be like, I gotta kind of not do that. And it could be your family, your siblings, your cousins, your closest in people that you just don't have the time or energy for right now, because that South Node drain of energy is happening there in your Virgo 3rd house, Cancer rising. Next up, we have our Gemini rising, folks, with that glorious 10th house Pisces. So it is time for a turn up for all of your activism, your fan base. Trust you. I went one too far right here. It is a time for a turn up in how you trust your gut with your career. You are, if you're ready, going to use, this is Gemini risings, you're going to use this North Node in Pisces, your 10th house, to get really clear on the intuitive gifts that you have in running your business. If you have been running a spiritual business, Gemini rising, I know a lot of you are, a lot of you have been working with me on getting your really cool businesses off the ground, and it's been very exciting. Right now, it's your time to take that stage up at the very top of your chart. That 10th house North Node transit is saying, come on up. It's great up here. I've got you. Use that support. Use that energy to go out and be seen in ways that feel intuitive. And things that are attached to more like home matters, real estate, ancestral land, family stuff, the home you grew up in. Right now, you're not going to have a lot of energy for that because that Virgo South Node drain is happening through summer of 2026. All right, now the one that I was trying to get to a little ahead of the time for my Taurus risings. Y'all, you got it. You got this 11th house, house of activism, your fan base, your group of friends, the legacy that you're leaving behind. All of these things become more important and easier to lean into now because of the Pisces North Node transiting there. And because that puts the South Node in Virgo transiting your 5th house, you could have a drain around the energy that it takes to parent or to become a parent. Your kids could just be exhausting right now. Or if you're going through something with fertility, it could be that it's just not happening right now because the South Node is draining the energy out of that 5th house. It's also likely it's exhausting to be playful and frisky and take risks right now. And so if you focus instead, again, Taurus risings, if you focus instead on how do I use that North Node in the 11th house as a way to buoy the risks I take up there with my audience in the public eye, or in ways that align with my values and the kinds of things that I want to do and leave behind in my career or life, friend group, whatever it is, hopefully that gives you the opportunity to use some of that more playful energy in a different house in a new way during this particular transit. Then we have our Aries rising. You have a 12th house Pisces situation. Clocked it. This is when that Pisces 12th house is going to start getting, if it hasn't already, kind of loud, kind of turned up, kind of like, why are all the ancestors talking to me during my dreams? Why am I getting so many notes from the witches that I am related to centuries ago? Why am I getting so many psychic events and downloads and things happening that are very, very definitely showing up in my life in ways that are turned up from before? And why is it exhausting just to do the day-to-day? Well, that's the South Node transiting your Virgo 6th house of daily doings. It's also pets. So your pets could require a lot of energy and attention right now. It could also be everything that is a normal habit for you. You just are like, I cannot with this. I know when I've had transits to the 6th house that say the daily doings are going to be a little more exhausting, I'm like, fine, I'm not wearing my retainer anymore. And I'm like, you spent 10 grand on adult back of the teeth lingual braces after having had braces as a preteen. And you're going to like not wear your retainer after all that? And I'm like, yes, because it's draining to get up and brush my teeth and put on my retainer. South Node transiting 6th house. That's that kind of game. All right, now we will hook back up to the top of my slides to where we got our Libra risings with the Pisces North Node transiting 6th house. Yes, daily doings are now going to become, nope, backwards. Pisces rising. Pisces rising. Because I went from 7th to 12th. Now it's 1st. I'm jumping all over the place. Isn't this fucking fantastic? Oh my God, I love it so much. I don't love it. I hate being disorganized. I'm mortified. I'm so embarrassed, says Virgo South Node transit. Don't look at me. I'm hideous. Okay. So, thank you for enjoying the shit show. Pisces rising. Yes. You are having a 1st house turn up with that North Node situation. And what it is doing in your 1st house is turning up how psychic you already know you are, because you already have Pisces rising, so duh. But you are also really enjoying those gifts in ways that energize you personally and individually. And it could be that you find it is really draining to do client work one-on-one, or to be with your person one-on-one, or to do anything that is normally involving another party, because you've got that Virgo South Node transiting your 7th house. And so Pisces rising, you're just like, I cannot go one-on-one peopling. I would rather go to a group thing, small group thing, big group thing, don't care. But this one-on-one thing is too intense right now. Yep, you're correct, Pisces rising. That is happening right now because of this nodal axis experience we're in. Your Aquarius risings, you're going to look to the 2nd house for Pisces turning things up around your earned revenue. This is different from that 8th house money conversation that we had before. That one was more of a entrepreneurial money. We don't know where it's coming from. It just shows up. And so we trust that the work is working. With Aquarius rising and a 2nd house Pisces situation, we're talking about North Node on that day-to-day earned income and your belongings and how much enjoyment you are getting out of your stuff. You may find that it's a time to release any attachment you have to control, or even, and I added the word itemize because this is part of why I wanted to redo the slides, because I wanted to put a little more nuance in, which I did with this one. You are not going to be able to itemize the things that you can't see. And your 8th house, where your Virgo is, Aquarius rising, is a dark house. You can't see what's going on there. It's mystery there. And Virgo's like, nope, I need to see all the details. And this is part of what makes Aquarius rising go, oh God, why is this so hard? Because you've got Virgo over there constantly with a clipboard going, I'm trying to see all the things and I can't see all the things. You're right, you cannot. And since you cannot see them, cannot control them, it's time to care less. We're going to use the Keith Johnson #1 rule of getting through life: care less. It's actually kind of magic. If you're Capricorn rising, you are going to be having the Pisces North Node in your third house, and this is going to make you feel a little more frenetic than you like to be. Capricorn rising, you tend to like to be methodical and slow about how you get all the things done, and I know you get all the things done, but that frenetic movement in the third house right now with that turn up of energy, North Node transiting there, is going to be a way for you to get an opportunity to maybe write more about what you're experiencing. That running around, if you do a live stream while you're doing it, if you do a My Day in LA, the hashtag whatever, if you do a Substack or a newsletter or any kind of social media with that energy, you may find that it becomes a little more fun. And I know it may become a little more fun is not necessarily the phrase you would expect me to say to a Capricorn rising, but try it. It's an experiment. You like an experiment. And as far as the stuff that goes on in the ninth house, where you've got a little more of a drain during this season for Capricorn risings, that means it's gonna be the little things that are more inspiring, and book smarts and all the big brainy stuff that lives in the ninth house is not where you're going to focus your energy right now. Capricorn rising, in fact, it would be exhausting for you to put your energy there right now. And because we move backwards in these slides, we are now on the final page, which is page 1 of the slide deck. I know you love it. We're going to look at our Sagittarius rising. Sagittarius rising, you got Pisces in that 4th house. So you are having a turn up of your home life, ancestors, roots, your connection with your ancestral beings that like to come through and tap you and say hello to you. You are going to feel very much connected to this particular dark house, and you're going to really turn up the energy around being in your home and how comfortable it feels to be in your home. Allow that connection. Really welcome it, like make an altar to it if you can, if that's your jam. I love building altars, and I think this is a really fun one to build, especially because it's one that you'll change out after the eclipses. Oh, because during eclipse season, we do not charge our crystals, we do not set intentions, we do not do ritual work because the energy is too intense. What we do instead is protect our crystals, reset the energy of some of the things, clean the altar, cover our tools, especially those crystals. We don't make moon water during eclipse season. It's like there's a lot that is better to not during the eclipse season and its intensity. But specifically for the Sagittarius rising, as we go into this eclipse season, creating a little altar to your home space and allowing it to be something that helps you set those intentions and create a container around it may help you feel a little less scattered with it all. And you're going to, as a release of all the draining energy, really release any perfectionism you have around your career or how you're seen in the public eye. Otherwise, you're just going to be exhausted. And your work in general is going to feel exhausting for Sagittarius rising, while South Node is transiting your 10th house of work and the public eye and your career and ambition and motivation for all of that in general. Scorpio risings. Scorpio risings, you have Pisces in the 5th house, and you are going to be, and may already be, taking big risks. Hopefully you're always trusting your instinct because hashtag Scorpio rising. So yes, of course, you trust your instincts always, but especially around things that involve risk-taking or being seen or gambling, lotto, affairs, getting frisky, being playful, your children. Let those things feel more intuitive, and they will be. And as far as the other side of the chart, where you've got Virgo South Node transit happening in your 11th house, it is going to be a little more draining to do things around your audience. And it is especially important for you not to try to get into your audience's head to figure out what do they think you do and what do they think about what you do. You got to let all that go, because your audience has no idea, and they really don't care. You care a lot, Scorpio rising, you care a lot, but it's okay to let some of that go, and that's what that Virgo tour of your 11th house is helping with. And finally, Libra rising, you have a 6th house tour of Pisces North Node turning up the daily doings, making more spirituality in your daily life, bringing more meditation and practices of energetic hygiene and doing things from the gut and in much more spiritual ways, the natural way of doing things for you when maybe that has not been the case before. And it means your mental health may be a little more draining than expected. So if you are someone who especially has challenges in that area, more rest is going to help you. And just lose your checklist altogether, because the floating is going to serve you far better. And again, Virgo can't control everything anyway, but especially not in dark houses, and the 12th house is a dark house. So a Libra rising has a Virgo 12th house, constantly checking what's wrong with the mental health of this person, with the way systems are running in this person. You gotta let that go. I know it's hard to do it, and I'm saying that not just as your chart harmony instructor, but as a Libra rising fellow. I got you, I feel you over here. All right, pop it in the chat. What'd you learn? What are you getting excited about? What do you got questions about? All right, excellent. I'd love to learn. Yes, okay, got that. Okay, if I were going to take a day off work, would the 7th or the 21st be better, or does it depend on my chart? I would take the 21st off, Michelle, instead of the 7th, mainly because the 21st is all South Node, all Virgo energy, and the North Node and Pisces moon of the September 7th one distributes the energy a little better and feels a little less intense. It's also just astrologically a better time. We have some woo weather in September that moves some things out of dignity in ways that might not be as fun by the 21st of September. Interesting. 18 and a half years ago, halfway through 2006, I was ending my marriage to my ex-hubs and he was moving out. Interesting, Kelly. I would take a look at that for sure, especially when we consider the houses of these happenings in your chart, right? Very, very interesting. I was doing the same, says Carla. Y'all, interesting. Wait, Michelle was doing it too? Come on. Y'all, this is impressive. This is so impressive. I know. Oh my gosh. Can't think of a better day to be at a meditation retreat called the Dharma of Depression and Anxiety at New York Insight Meditation Center on that day, September 21st. Kelly, flawless. No notes. Creating space with Jen. So cool. I've been doing work lately around opening up communication with my ancestral helpers, guides, magical helpers, especially no matter where it is in your chart, everybody. Pisces North Node is always a time to lean into the spiritual, the magical, the mystical, the trust that is possible, the infinite of time, the, laughing at man time because it's so much more. Pisces, I always say, is the sign that wonders, why do we rely on words in this place where we're, in these human forms and in these skin suits? I mean, words are so limiting compared to all the different ways that we can communicate and on all the different timelines that we can communicate simultaneously. That's big Pisces energy. So wherever it is in your chart, leaning into the spirituality of it is going to really be something that's easier to tap into right now. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Supa, I'm in for more metaphysical. Cancer rising, not a fan of social media to begin with. Use it to keep connected with family more than anything. Carla, right on. Perfect. I love all this alignment here. I really do. Tells me I'm on the right path / track. I love to hear it. Thank you. That's fabulous. I agree. I call it the proof of life check-ins. Ha ha ha. Yeah, Teresa, that I was asking myself something the other day. I was just like, if I had kept, I was thinking about someone who was the GM of the radio station when I was the grad advisor. So this was the radio station at the University of Georgia, and I was grad advisor, and the person who was GM was and is blind. And was is probably the better thing, because when we were in school together, he was going through some surgical procedures to open up some amount of sightedness. And I said to Keith, I remembered a moment with him and how he wanted to share with me as his grad advisor that he was going to go to a place and see if he could see something. And I was just so so thrilled to have been asked to go on that journey with him. And he wanted to walk across the bridge that no longer exists because of expansion on the campus, but that would overlook 1,000 cars. And so you could look down and see all the colors and shapes and things. And he was able to say, it looks like toy cars. I can see toy cars. And it just was so beautiful. And so I found myself saying to Keith, my partner, I wonder how he's doing. And then I go, if I had stuck around on Facebook, I probably could find out how he's doing. And then I went, yeah, but then I would also have to know how a whole lot of other people are doing who I really do not at all have room for in my energy. And I'm so okay not knowing how things are for them. So yeah, it takes up a lot of space for sure. But I like the proof of life check-ins. That's cute. Sounds like a fairly smooth and even relaxing eclipse for Cancer rising. Michelle, yeah, I think so. I think for those of us with cardinal on the angles, again, 1st, 4th, 7th, 10th houses, cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, I think these eclipses are a lot smoother than the ones we were having last year and the year before. Right on. I'm hideous. I am. Melissa, I'm hideous. I thank you for getting my joke. Excellent. Fabulous. I'm so glad the Sagittarius rising one was helpful, Donna. That's my man, Sagittarius rising. So I especially know the value in that advice from lived experience over here. 18 months of exhausting work. Yay, says no one. Teresa, we all got to do it though. Because it happens in a cycle, we will all get an 18.5-month tour of South Node draining some shit in our natal chart. We will all get that. We will all get that at some point. So knowing that, what do we do for the eclipses that we are currently facing? We take a look at the Virgo situation in our natal chart and say, yep, I'm going to let some stuff go. And I know that's really hard for Virgo because Virgo's got notes and lots of them, books and books and books full of notes. And maybe we let some of that go or let go some of the energy around it. And how do we prepare for what comes starting summer of 2026, going all the way through the end of 2027? Well, because the nodes move backwards, it would be Leo's turn to have a visit from the South Node. So a visit from the South Node of the Leo part of our chart for 18.5 months is one we can go ahead and get out ahead of. And I don't mean go ahead and get out ahead of it like stop it from having impact. I mean, we will not be surprised that it's coming. We will not be ill prepared for the drain of energy that the Leo part of our chart is going to experience. And remembering that the nodes move backwards, you will feel it with anything in earlier degrees later. You will feel it in the higher degrees, the later degrees first. Did I say that backwards? Because the nodes move backwards, anything you have at higher degrees Leo, you will feel earlier. So summer of 2026, you'll start feeling things at late degrees Leo, getting their tickle from that South Node transit. My chart ruler is 29 degrees Leo. My Venus on Regulus, on Black Moon Lilith at 29 degrees Leo. As soon as the nodal axis shifts in July of 2026 and puts the South Node in Leo, I'm aware my whole chart ruler is going to be... Did you like my sound effect? I did not enjoy that sound effect. That actually, I hurt my throat. But that will be a drain. So I'm going to go ahead now and begin regularly checking in on my chart ruler by doing Venus ruled activities, because Venus is my chart ruler. Doing chart harmony green and pink activities. Green because of the Taurus part of Venus rulership, and the pink because of the air sign of Libra rulership of Venus. And the two of those together, green and pink things, means doing lots of multitasking things, yes, but also doing things that are about love, money, and enoughness. And how can I fortify my relationship with all of that? Specifically, Venus in Leo, which means also doing orange things. And so doing things that involve being seen, knowing that starting next summer and all through 2027, it is going to be potentially more exhausting and draining for me to do things like be seen in alignment with my Venus, love, money, enoughness. Well, I don't want that to be true. So I am going to create structure, Daddy Saturn to the rescue. I am going to create structure around things I say yes to. I'm going to make sure I book in time to recover from anything that I agree to do, because I know the drain of energy is coming to that part of my chart. And the 11th house is a very big and social part of the chart. So if you know that the South Node is traveling to your 11th house, your 10th house, your 9th house, you would want to fortify yourself for doing things in public and being out at the top of your chart, being seen, being very public. That stuff becoming draining means what? Book in more time for you to recover from things that right now may feel like no big deal. If the South Node is touring some of your dark houses, 12th, 8th, 4th, we're going to then make sure that we book in more time for connecting with what's in the shadows, but not letting that stuff rule our lives for those 18 and a half months. Again, the next episode of Melissa Has Questions, once I get it finished and uploaded, will be made for you, because it's about STDs, and STD means spiritually transmitted disease. It's cute, huh? Cute, huh? And about the psychic condom that has to be put on when you are doing things in dark houses in particular, but in general, when you're doing things that involve other energies and potentially energetic hitchhikers and so forth. If you've got the South Node headed toward your 7th house, you know, what's some partner stuff that you could do? What could you set up with your partner to make sure that during that 18 and a half month time, y'all make space for, you're going to spend time together like usual, but you are going to be aware that it might take more energy, and that doesn't mean something's wrong, doesn't mean something's broken, it doesn't mean the relationship is no good. It just means, oh my God, date night is now 3 hours and I have to recover, instead of it being 90 minutes and I can't wait for the next one. Let's see, where else do I want to tour? 6th, 5th, 6th, 4th, 5th and 6th. It's going to take more energy to do the day-to-day when South Node is at the 6th house. It's going to take more energy. So it's just going to take more time to get things done. Yeah, for real. Yeah, for real. It's going to, at 5th house, it's going to be a drain to deal with children. So you know that going in. If you're like, yep, it's a drain to be with my children right now, great. It's check that South Node. It could be a temporary condition. Puberty and the South Node transiting the 5th house simultaneously could be like, oh my God, my kids and my astrology are aligned. That might be a lot. Yeah, 3rd house, family matters. Third, 4th, 5th houses, all going to be also dealing with family stuff. Yeah, money stuff. 2nd house. If you've got the South Node transiting your 2nd house and you're like, oh my God, it's going to drain my money, don't decide that's what it means. Just know it's going to take more energy to have stuff and to manage regular salaried income. But that's a great opening for windfalls and things to come in the 8th house. There's always a counterbalance with every single one of these. All right, let me see what you said. Crud, says Melissa. Crud. I'm wondering, as a creative person, what should I let go of as a Taurus rising? So Taurus rising put Virgo South Node in your 2nd house, right? Like we were just talking about. Is that right, Amal? Do I have that right? Taurus. Is that right? Taurus puts Virgo in the 2nd? Y'all know I need your help. Nope. I did it exactly backwards. Taurus. I have to actually look at a chart wheel. I can't look at my slides. Taurus puts Virgo in your 11th house. Excellent. So, Amal, to answer your question, it's less letting go and more allowing your audience to feel how they feel about you. that Virgo 11th house that Taurus has. No, Pisces 11th house. Oh shit balls. Bonnie, look at the damn chart. Can't. Okay, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Legit. You can tell I've been doing this more than an hour. I actually just had to count houses. Fifth house. What to let go of? All. What to let go of is more about, with the fifth house, if it's not like your kids or having children or anything like that, and it's more about the risk taking and being seen, focus on more of the 11th house way of being seen, which is, I want to get out in front of people because my gut tells me it is good for me to do for the collective. It is, the message helps heal. The message helps people who are in my audience. And just consider that your buyers are your audience, as opposed to I'm doing it because I like taking the stage. The fifth house energy is where am I gratified, and the 11th house energy is where is my audience served. And so just make that focus more on how can I serve my audience and less on how can I be seen. That's what I would do there, now that I finally fucking figured out where Virgo is in a Taurus rising chart, y'all. Yes, Carla, thank you. Enjoy the rest on replay. So great to have you here. A lot of self-compassion, which for a Virgo is really hard. Kelly, yeah. Mars at 28 degrees Leo. Kelly, we're gonna have a late degrees Leo South Node tour party, okay? We are. Chart ruler. Our chart rulers are twinsies. They are not the same planet, but they are very similar in how they behave. And I love that about us, among a million other things. Teresa says, I'm just grateful I work fully from home so I can always work in the rest and recover and comfort I need all seasons. Teresa, that is amazing. That is honestly one of my favorite parts of my career as well. I get to build my schedule, I get to build my days. And that includes things like I will not be live streaming between the two eclipses. I will be doing client work some, but I've walled off more time for recovery because the eclipses on the Libra Aries axis were so challenging for me physically, and so much energy around my person, because 7th house, 1st house, so much energy around my person and so drained me personally. Woo! That was a tough combo. And so I've just gotten in the habit of walling off more time between the eclipses to make sure that I'm good. And then I can always add in more opportunity for people to come get on my schedule. But I'm not going to overbook, because overbooking is hard to recover from. Leaving too much free space, easy to then be available when someone has a quick need. Yep. Excellent. Yeah, I know them all. I'm all over the place. I got you though. All right, last call for questions. 111 Santa Monica. I know there's a lag, so y'all will be seeing that. Well, you're now watching in replay at this point, people. Exactly, being able to build in the rails that make it the most sense. It makes all the difference. Yep. Because creating that structure is a loving way to be available for everyone who needs you, including yourself, because we have to be available to ourselves. I'm really excited to get back into Canva and finish my slides and have them for you in the description below. So those of you who are here with me live, come back in an hour or so. It's not going to take me an hour, but come back tonight. And I'm saying that because I just realized I got to give myself a kindness. I need to not jump right back into Canva. I have a Mistress Mind group at the top of the hour, and I need to prep for that energetically and logistically. And then that's going to take an hour, and then I need to come down from that energetically and logistically. And then I will get back in Canva and do all the things. And if I'm early and happen to have the updates to the slides available for you sooner, yay you, yay me, yay everybody. But I want to be accurate in the energetic promise that I'm making. How'd you like that? I got to role model for you exactly what we're talking about. Any dates to check in about? Anything you need? All right, last call. Boop, boop. Oh, I love you too, Teresa. Thank you. Thank you for enjoying me getting all pretty today. I really had fun with this. I'm like, this is a lot darker, smokier than I usually do. I usually run a paint of eyeliner, like a liquid pen, eyeliner across like that. Lippy. Oh, I do my eyebrows. I always have to, I have an amazing brush from MAC. This is not my main one. This is my backup one. The main one lives in my makeup kit. This drawer has apparently 2 of these because when they get frayed, I don't get rid of them. I just throw them in the drawer, and I didn't realize that I already had one in here. But this one's actually in better condition than I thought. I might want to check to see if that one needs to sub out for the one that's in my makeup bag. We'll see. Y'all, but I put powder in my eyebrows because if I don't, you can't see my eyebrows. They are just barely there hairs. Anyway, that's my makeup tutorial. Is not one. Oh, thank you, Donna. I appreciate that. I'm so glad you find this to be excellent teachings. That means the world to me. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. Yes, make space for yourself and then for others. Yes, I hear you. I hear you. Back at ya, gorgeous Michelle. Absolutely. All the double up on office supplies. Teresa, right? I mean, tell me you've got Virgo in the 12th house without telling me you've got Virgo in the 12th house. And then open this drawer. Okay, you laugh at doubling up. This Urban Decay color eyeshadow is not available anymore. I have one in my makeup bag. I have one in my purse. And then these 2 have, like, because they go in here when they get down to this much. Yeah, this much. Oh my God. Because I'm not getting rid of it. Oh, this one's gone. There's very little left. But this, we actually go on the hunt for this one because that's impossible to find, and I love it. But when you say 2 of everything, it's like I got seriously, I got the Noah's Ark of drawers here. Are these the same? Seriously, do I have a pair of everything? Oh, hang on. Do I? What's that back there? I have a whole... What? Why was this the drawer where my varsity calligraphy pens... And of course there's 2. There's 2. Of course there's 2. Of course there's 2. 2 black ballpoint pens. Come on. All right. All right. I can't with this. I can't with this. Love you, beautiful people. Thank you for enjoying the shit show. I know it wasn't a shit show. Thank you for enjoying our time together. As always, give yourself lots of love, lots of hugs. Hydrate. Remember, 3 rules of eclipse season, always, no matter what signs it's happening in. Always, always, always. Rest, hydrate, bubble wrap. All right. Love y'all. Mwah. Take care.